Hello, I'm Aidah, and today we're going to learn how to do auto hip sway in Alight motion. We know what a hip sway is, right? You can animate that by adding rotation keyframes and cyclic easings, but that won't really be auto. To make it automatic, we'll do it using no keyframes and only two effects. Reset leg parenting setup. I have loaded my character Baldy here, and currently the model has an FK rigging. FK is forward kinematics, where the thigh controls the lower leg controls the feet. Now we don't really need feet separated, so I'll group it with the lower leg. The reason why I mention FK is because this rigging we normally use won't work for the auto hip sway and will end up looking like this. So we must change the leg setup from FK to IK, as in inverse kinematics. In inverse kinematics, the lower leg will control the thigh instead of the other way around. To avoid confusion, first tap on the thigh and the lower leg and set the parenting to none for both layers. Now the thigh is detached from the body. Remove the parenting for the other leg parts as well. Adjust pivot points for IK setup. Now that our leg rigging is reset, let's check the pivot points by rotating the leg parts. For the lower leg, move the pivot point from the knee to the end of the foot. This will allow the lower leg to control the thighs from the feet, very important for the inverse kinematic setup. The thigh, as you can see, is still rotating from the hips without knowing that it is free from the control of the hip. Move the pivot point of the thigh to the knee and check the rotation to make sure the joining looks smooth enough. IK parenting. The lower leg should not be parented to any layer, but take the thigh, tap on the parenting button, and pick the lower leg. Now when we move the lower leg, the thigh will follow it. Do the same setup for the other leg, pivot points and parenting. Checking if we did it right. To check if we did it right, rotate the lower legs and the thighs must stay attached to them. Move the body and no leg layers should follow the body. Our leg setup is finally complete. Next, we'll animate the auto hip sway. Animating the body. Take the body layer and add the swing effect from the move transform category. The swing effect moves around the pivot point you set, so take care to put it around the center of the body, as that produces the best results. The frequency controls how many times this swinging will occur, basically controls the speed of it. I'll leave it at the default 2 Hz. Now move the timeline slowly and find the frame where the body has moved to the maximum angle. Bookmark that frame. You'll get 2 bookmarks since there's a maximum angle for the body rotating left and another for the right. Go to that bookmark and adjust the values of either angle 1 or angle 2 and the body will move. After you're happy with the body swinging motion, copy the effect. Delay the head. Paste the effect onto the head layer. To stop it from looking like it is enthusiastically nodding to whatever you said, go to the effects settings and change the face. Adjusting the face will allow the swinging motion to start from a different point in motion. Adjust until it looks smooth, until the head looks like it is being dragged by the motion of the body. Adjust lower leg motion. Paste the swing effect you copied from the body, and the leg seems to have a mind of its own. Just go to the swing's effects settings and adjust the angles while being on the bookmark frames so you can see how much you're adjusting. Try to have the leg be attached to the body. Copy the effect from the edited leg and paste it onto the other leg so you don't have to redo the settings. You can also add the swing effect onto the thigh. It's up to you, but it'll just end up needing more adjustments. For this tutorial, I won't apply the swing effects onto the thighs and will keep it simple. Making the body bouncy. Now we'll make the body's motion more bouncy. To do that, add the oscillate effect from the move transform category. Then change the angle of the effect to 90 degrees. This will create a vertical up-down movement of the body and will make the animation much smoother. You can also increase the magnitude to make the up-down motion more intense. Adjust arm motions. Now I'll just do the same. Paste the swing effect onto the arm and adjust until I like it. I'll also add the swing effect onto the lower arm and the hands to make it look smoother. And for the lower arm and the hands, I would highly recommend adjusting the face as that would make it much more smooth. Facial Displacer Extra. Here's a fun thing I'll grab from another of my tutorials called the Displacer. Add a circle, enable the radial gradient and reverse the colors. Then I'll add the displacement map effect. I'll also set the head as the parent of the displacer layer so it always sticks to the head. Now I can warp the face up and down by animating the offset. And I can make it repeat with the cyclic easing, which is premium. Heading Y movement. You can just paste the oscillate effect with the 0-degree angle and adjust for bounce. See this animation? I did this as a test animation and it is quite different from what we just animated. We did not put the swing effect on the thighs for Baldy and kept it simple, letting the lower leg do all the swinging instead. For this blue guy, I added swing effects for his thighs and I added a depth oscillate to make the legs appear to change in size. I also added an oscillate effect with 0-degree angle that moves horizontally, which made the hip sway much more animated. What I'd suggest is to experiment with the swing and oscillate effects to make it as animated and smooth as you want. And yes, you can use the swing effect to do idle and FNF animations too. It is the lack of experimentation that is stopping you. Bye bye, have a nice day! Take the leg with the swing effect we perfected, copy the effect and paste it onto the other lower leg of the other leg.